What's going on, guys, and welcome back. Welcome back to Monday Motivation. That's what we're going to call this, Monday Motivation. For the people out there that need that rocket up the backside. For the people out there that essentially want more meaning out of life. They want to get excited and they want to know the tools on how to become the version of themselves that they want to become. And this is going to get you unstuck. What we're going to talk about today is going to get you unstuck. It's going to be short, sharp, and effective. And that's how I like to live life. We get real movement through that instead of draining and dragging things out. So how today's session is going to go in this one-to-one with me to the listeners. I want you to feel this. I want you to feel this in the soul and realize this is me and I need to realize this to get to where I want to get to. So what I've done, I've got 7 questions here which are going to realize to you in order for you to get what you want, you need to realize this comes with it. And how you deal with it is the biggest skill, attribute, and overcoming the roadblock to get what you truly want. So this is what we're going to call it. We're going to call it the price tag of your purpose. And are you willing to pay it? Now, whenever someone comes to me and they're like, I want this, I want that career, I want this routine, I want to get out my head, I want more freedom. I'm like, okay, what are you willing to sacrifice in order to get that? What are you willing to sacrifice in order to achieve the things that you really want? What are you willing to let go of? What bad habits are you willing to let go of in order to achieve this? What good habits are you willing to implement? What negative thought patterns are you willing to let go of in order to get what you truly want? Now, we're going to unpick this today. And I'm excited about this one because these 7 questions are stages of my life where I can resonate to it and I've experienced it. And you need to learn this to get where you need to go. So how it's going to go? We're going to go through the 7 questions, like I said. So we're going to go with number 1 right now. The question is, what do you really want in life? And are you prepared to face the opposite of it first? Let that sit for a little bit. What do you really want in life? And are you prepared to face the opposite of it first? Now, people, when they think of that, they think, gosh, what does that mean? Let's break that down a little bit, though. Let's go, right. For you to experience happiness, you're going to endure sadness on the way because you won't know happiness without sadness. For you to connect and find someone with true love and connection in a relationship, high chances you're going to experience heartbreak on the way. You're going to experience adversities. You're going to experience bad dates on the way until you find that person. And that's a part of the journey. That's actually learning to enjoy that process and know this is a part of it. Because reality is, the further we go down that path, you find out more and more what you don't like and what you do like. But you've got to accept that, and that comes with the fear. That comes with stepping out of our comfort zone. If it comes to a business, I started this business because I wanted freedom. Well, you've just started this business. And you truly better enjoy this business and be willing to roll your sleeves up in order to do this. Because at the start, there's not going to be much freedom. You are literally going to be rolling your sleeves up and sacrificing in order to get this business or this purpose or this whatever it is you want to do. You've got to put the work in at the start. And if you're not willing to do that, well, don't expect freedom at the end. Or you can go work somewhere else where you just do that cushy hours every week, complain about a job that doesn't really give you much fulfillment or whatever career path it is. And that's where you're at then. But I think if you're on this call or you're listening to this right now, you want more out of life. You want more meaning. You want to know, where's my path all? What am I willing to sacrifice? So the reality is, in everything we do, if it's you want happiness, you're going to experience pain. If you want love, you might experience heartbreak. No, you will experience heartbreak. You will experience sadness. You won't know the other until you experience the other one. So the yin to the yang. So what are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to experience in order to get what you truly want? You've got to face the ugly first before you get the fruits of your joy. Question 2. Why do we resist pain when pain is actually the teacher that gives us what we need? Wow. When I think of that, my biggest setback was actually my biggest blessing. My biggest heartbreak was my biggest wake-up call. My biggest fear, struggle, was my greatest gift. Now, when I talk about that, let's just say and break it down to rugby. When I was playing rugby in Australia at an extremely high level, professional for a couple of years, and then after the injury, semi-pro. But let's talk about that. After 3 knee reconstructions on my right knee, each one lasting 9 to 12 months rehab until I could go again. So that's nearly 3 years on 3 knee reconstruction on my right knee. And then on top of that, arthroscopes, meniscus stitched down, removing parts of meniscus. It was 6 or 7 surgeries on that knee. And every time I did it, I worked harder. I wanted to get back quicker. I was impatient. Until the surgeon told me, oh, that's enough. You're done. But I didn't realize at that time the path that I needed to experience that in order to be where I am today. Because I knew I had a bigger talent. I had a bigger God-given talent to do what I wanted to do. Now, that's something that you might need to hear right now. What you're experiencing right now, you might be thinking right now, I don't think I can get through this. You will get through this. And when you look back, you'll go, wow, I needed to hear that. I needed to experience that. I needed to know there was more for me out there. And there is more for you out there. So understand that your setback is actually a springboard into the right direction that you need to go. It's a redirection. So understanding, yeah. So question 3, what's the biggest challenge I faced that turned out to be my biggest blessing? Well, I think I just covered that. On top of that, I'm going to share another story. You might have heard it, but if not, we'll go do it again. So when I had to retire from rugby, I started doing asbestos and demolition work. I started in Australia, masking, suiting up every day. I tell you what, if you want to lose some weight, go do that, because you will lose some weight in 30-something degrees. In a suit and a mask, you'll lose weight. But I hated it. Paid well, but I hated it. But what I learned about it was that I was so down in the dumps at that stage of my life that the boss said to me, hey, we've got a job coming up in a place called Nauru, which is just to the right of Papua New Guinea. Just to the right. So you've got Australia, Papua New Guinea, and you've got these little islands just on the right of it. And he said, we've got to remove asbestos roof sheets off this power plant. Do you want to go up there? I said, yeah. He goes, you got 10 days up there with the crew. I said, sweet. Anyway, we were working on this job site and it was stinking hot. You could drive the island in 30 minutes. That's how small it was. But while we were there, we had the locals work with us. They could labor for us and we'd give them the sheets, pass them down to them from the cherry pickers. But what we realized is after an hour, they'd leave or they'd never rock up or it wasn't for them. So before we know it, we had no laborers on site and we could then go to the refugees on the island, and they were in the porta cabin in the top of the island. We had this one guy come down called Saji from Bangladesh. Small guy, slight fella, but just had this amazing energy about him. You could just see him beaming, and he was so happy. I said, that's my guy. He's working with me. So we started working together, and he'd be like, Ollie, would you like some water? Ollie, do you want some tea? Every break, how can I help you? He was so polite, and he was a bit cheeky, and I liked that about him. I was like, and I noticed every day that he was wearing the same outfit every day. He was wearing the same outfit every day. He'd wash it, dry it, chuck it back on, and he'd be wearing it to work the next day. So one day we had this trench of rain come through. We went back to my hotel. I said, Saji, here's some clothes, and I give him all my suitcase, bar one pair of clothes. And I said, right, you need to tell me how long you've been here and why you're here. He said, I've been here 4 years on. He said, I'm going to tell you the story tomorrow. I was like, okay. So the next day I get up, I start walking onto the job site, and I see Saji there sitting on the side of the road, cross-legged, eyes closed. And I didn't know what he was doing at the time. So I was like, what's that? Next thing, when he finished, I go, Saji, what was that you just did? And he goes, oh, that's meditation. I said, all right, spill the beans, mate. What is that? What is it? He goes, well, meditation. It helps me stop worrying about my past, stops worrying about my future, and I can only be where my feet are. And I was like, wow, where I was at the stage of my life in Australia, depressed, lost, anxious, feeling stuck. Where am I? I got this guy who had externally nothing, but he had so much internally. And I had the opposite. So I said, right, how are you here? What happened? He said, in my village in Bangladesh, we had these people come through my village and they started shooting the village up and they shot my mum and dad in front of me. He said, my wife was in that village. So they turned the gun to me and they said, you either leave or we're going to go. So he just ran out the village, jumped on a boat, and it was taking him to Melbourne, Australia. And the offshore police caught him. Now, they sent him then to Nauru and he's been there 4 years. So there I was listening to this story, just crying, hugging him. I felt so much love for this guy that I've barely known. But it shifted my perspective. So when I think about, what's my biggest challenges and how do they face? Going to that country was not really what I wanted to do, but I needed to do it because it was my biggest blessing. And that was one of the cornerstones in my journey of changing, transforming myself, mastering my mindset, mastering my emotions, and taking control of my life. And that's what I implement now while adding more things to it, to my skill set, to help people like you. People like you that want more meaning out of life. But that guy, if it wasn't for him, maybe I might not be doing this. Maybe I might not be able to impact people as much as I am right now. So I'm very grateful for him. So, next question. Question 4. How much of who you think you are is just a reflection of your past pain? Well, that's quite interesting. Where I am right now, I use mine as a badge of honor. Those experiences, like I just spoke about right now, I speak about them in a positive way because it taught me so much about myself. But when you start to speak to people, you said, how are you? They'll always tell you normally, if they're not aware, they'll always tell you the problems. Oh, the weather's crap. Oh, I had I had a bill come through today, They're always talking about that. Oh, so-and-so in the past, we don't talk anymore because of X, Y, and Z. And they're living in the past. And if you notice as well, when they talk about people, they reflect on them. They talk about someone, maybe what happened 10 years ago, and they still hold that grudge to them today, the past pains. And that's a reflection of that person. What it tells me is, you're struggling to let go, or you're holding on to a past. We can all change. So a lot of people hold on to this emotional baggage, this anchor of guilt, shame, when you are not your past. You are not your past. And you can change that whenever you want because you can make a decision every day on when you're ready to change. But if you hold this identity of your past mistakes, which we all have, and you're going to get more negative experiences as you go in more and more in life, but you've got to find the joy in everything. You've got to find the gem in life. Once you can do that, that's when you start to put your intentions on what you can have and what you can do instead of what you can't do. So if you're going to fail moving forward, guys. Fail moving forward. Question 5. Are you showing up today as the man you needed when everything fell apart? 100%. Amen, 100%. Definitely I am. And I hope you guys are too, listeners out there. Are you showing up today as the man you needed to when everything fell apart? Are you looking after yourself? Are you providing and supporting yourself first so you're a better version for yourself, for others? Now, when people are struggling and they keep that smiley face on and they like to act like everything's going well, they'll give and do everything they can, but internally they're dying. And I'm telling you right now, that's the first way to feel burnt out, overwhelmed, stuck. Once you start to implement good habits, a routine, structure, getting around the right people, life gets a bit easier. Iron sharpens iron. Remember that. Now you know that you're meant for more. Now you need to get right in the right pool group. You need to start having conversations that light you up instead of conversations that drain you. You need to get in areas of your life where that shy person becomes the talker because he's inquisitive, he's curious, he's interested. So are you showing up as the man you need to? And if you're not, why? Do you want the same 5 years that you've just experienced to be the next 5 years of your future as well? Or do you want to change that? There's only one person who can do it, and that's you. And that's taking the right actions. That's reaching out to the right people. Question 6. What are you willing to let go of in order to step into the man you know you are meant to be? So I see that as leaning into discomfort. Leaning into discomfort. Asking yourself, what am I gonna learn about this? Is this gonna better me if I take this opportunity? Can I take a little bit of risk in life? Can I get uncomfortable? Can I go and set my alarm earlier in the morning? Can I go to bed earlier at night? Can I cut that bad habit out? Can I eat a bit better? Can I meditate? Can I write gratitudes? Can I pray? Can I think about what I truly want and say it out loud? That's what I want. Can I give positive love to myself? Can I tell myself how good I am? Can I tell myself what I'm really good at and what I'm working on? What are you willing to let go of? Maybe it's that negative self-talk. Maybe it's that negative self-talk every time you do something well. Maybe it's that little voice in your head saying you shouldn't be doing this, you're not good enough. Maybe you need to let go of that and tell him, hey, I'm trying every day. I'm trying to get better. I'm putting one foot in front of the other. I'm telling you right now, that noise is trying to make you safe. And it may have served a purpose previous, but it doesn't serve a purpose right now. So you need to acknowledge that noise. And the more and more you keep leaning into it and stepping one foot in the other, that noise gets quieter and quieter. It's a bit like going to the gym. The more and more you go to the gym and you build that muscle, the more and more you see the muscle grow. And that's like that muscle in our minds. Last question. If you were told it's going to hurt, take time, and break you before it builds you, would you still chase it? That's a big one. That's the money shot. Because this is going to call you out of where you are right now. And if you take this chance, if you take this opportunity, the goal that you want, is that what you truly want? Is that what you truly want? Or are you doing it because of what others think is right or what society is telling you? Because you're going to sacrifice on this journey, whatever it is. You've got to have some skin in the game. You've got to willing to get dirty. You're willing to roll your sleeves up and get into it. And that's all areas of life. If that's relationships, that's communicating your needs. If that's stop being such a people pleaser. You're going to get ugly while doing it. But it's so much beautiful on the other side. Right, guys, this is Monday Motivation. Enjoy it. Take all of the gems out of this. And I look forward to hearing off you next week. If you want to find out more, if you want to ask some questions, send me an Instagram message on Ollie_Ols1. WhatsApp me. What else is there? Gosh, I'm trying to think. Email me, admin@ollyols.com. Become a part of our community of sea dips, run clubs, ladies' days, men's days. You can get the merchandise. You can get our journals, whatever you want. That's all a part of the package that we're offering right now. If you want to get more connected, if you want some of the oversized tees, the white oversized tees, which are a vibe, it's there for you. Right, guys, thank you so much.